April 1st. Normally, you'd be dodging fake press releases and joke product launches right about now. Not this year. This morning, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps issued a public threat against 18 American technology companies. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, Meta, Intel, Boeing, Oracle, HP, IBM, 18 names. They posted a deadline, tonight, 8 p.m. Tehran time. Employees in the Gulf were told to evacuate within a 1-kilometer radius of their workplaces. That is not a prank. That is the first time in this conflict that a state actor has publicly threatened mass casualty attacks against civilian tech infrastructure across an entire region. Dutch flagged this one before sunrise. We are going to break down what this actually means for the companies, for the region, and for anyone running infrastructure in the Middle East right now. But that is not the only signal today. Nvidia is quietly walking away from its biggest AI bets, and GlassWorm is still eating Python repos alive. Let's get to work, Dutch. Quick disclosure, I'm Sterling Grant, and the voice in my ear is Dutch, my AI producer. He runs the command center, pulls the data, writes the research, and keeps this whole operation moving. And he's getting better every episode. So subscribe, because this show is only going up from here. Now let's get to work, Dutch. Let's start with the elephant in the server room. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, through their official news outlet, SIPA News, published a list of 18 American technology companies and said attacks on their regional operations begin tonight at 8 p.m. Tehran time. That is 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, Dutch pulled the full Telegram post. The language is explicit. Quote, "For every assassination and terrorist act in Iran, one facility or unit belonging to these companies will face destruction." End quote. They told employees in every country in the region to evacuate within 1 kilometer of these institutions. Here is what makes this different from the usual saber rattling. This is the first time during the 2026 Iran conflict that Tehran has publicly named civilian tech companies as military targets. Not embassies, not military bases. Data centers, cloud regions, corporate offices, R&D labs. Think about what runs on those Gulf data centers. AWS has regions in Bahrain. Microsoft Azure runs out of the UAE. Google Cloud has points of presence across the Gulf states. Oracle just expanded in Saudi Arabia. You think the IRGC does not know that half of Middle Eastern enterprise compute routes through American hyperscaler infrastructure? Dutch is pulling the infrastructure map right now. The companies on that list collectively operate over 40 data centers and hundreds of edge nodes across the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. If even one of those gets hit, the blast radius is not just physical. It is every SaaS app, every API call, every financial transaction running through that region. The strategic calculation here is uncomfortable. Iran is not threatening to hack these companies. They are threatening to bomb them. Physical destruction of civilian technology infrastructure as retaliation for military operations. That crosses a line that has not been crossed in modern conflict. And the timing is deliberate. April 1st, the day when nobody believes anything they read online. Dutch says that is not an accident. That is information warfare layered on top of kinetic threats. If you are running infrastructure in the Gulf or have customers who are, today is the day you stress test your failover. Not tomorrow. Today. Check your multi-region redundancy. Verify your disaster recovery runbooks. If your DR plan says failover to Europe, make sure that path actually works before 12:30 Eastern. Now let's shift from geopolitics to corporate strategy, because something very interesting happened at the Morgan Stanley conference last week that most people glossed over. Jensen Huang, Nvidia CEO, stood on stage and said, Nvidia's $30 billion investment in OpenAI might be its last. And the $10 billion in Anthropic? Probably done too. Now the stated reason is IPO timing. Both OpenAI and Anthropic are expected to go public later this year. Huang says once they are public companies, the investment window closes. That is the official line. But Dutch pulled the timeline, and something does not add up. 2 months before this announcement, Anthropic's CEO, Dario Amodei, stood on stage at Davos and compared U.S. chip companies selling processors to approved Chinese customers to, quote, selling nuclear weapons to North Korea, end quote. He did not name Nvidia directly. He did not have to. So here is the signal. The two biggest AI labs in the world are about to IPO. The company that makes the hardware they all depend on is pulling back its financial stake in both of them. And the reasoning does not quite hold water. What does hold water is this. Nvidia is pivoting from investor to competitor. They announced $26 billion over 5 years to build their own open-weight foundation models. They are already shipping Nemo Claw and custom silicon for inference. Why would you keep a financial stake in companies you are about to compete with directly? The real story is not Nvidia leaving, it is Nvidia arriving. They are not pulling back from AI. They are pulling back from being a passive backer and moving into the arena as a full-stack AI company. Models, hardware, inference, enterprise. Dutch says the analogy is Intel in the 90s. They made the processors that ran everything, then decided they wanted to own the software stack too. That did not end well for Intel. Whether it ends differently for Nvidia depends on whether their models can actually compete with what OpenAI and Anthropic are shipping. The hardware mode is real, the model mode is unproven. All right, last story, and this one is for the builders in the audience. Remember GlassWorm? We covered the supply chain attack that hit 400 GitHub repos, NPM packages, and VS Code extensions back in March. Invisible Unicode payloads, blockchain command and control, credential theft. Nasty stuff. It is not over. It got worse. A new variant called ForceMemo has been running since at least March 8th. The attack method is different, and it is smarter. The attackers are using credentials stolen during the original GlassWorm campaign to access GitHub accounts. But instead of injecting new commits, they are rebasing the latest legitimate commits on the default branch with malicious code, then force-pushing the changes. Here's the part that should keep you up at night. The commit message stays the same. The author stays the same. The author date stays the same. The only thing that changes is the committer date. If you are not specifically checking for committer date mismatches, you would never know your repository was compromised. Dutch ran the numbers. Hundreds of Python repositories have been hit. Django apps, machine learning research code, PyPI packages, Streamlit dashboards. The targets are not random. They are going after projects with real users and real downstream dependencies. And the command and control? Same Solana blockchain wallet as the original GlassWorm campaign. Blockchain-based C2. You cannot take it down by seizing a domain or killing a server. The instructions live on a decentralized ledger that nobody controls. So what do? First, enable signed commits. GPG signing makes force push attacks visible because the signature breaks. Second, turn on branch protection with required reviews. No direct pushes to main. No exceptions. Third, audit your committer dates against author dates. If they diverge by more than a few seconds on recent commits, something is wrong. Dutch built a one-liner for that check. We will drop it in the description. The bigger signal here is that supply chain attacks are not one-and-done events anymore. GlassWorm was not a campaign. It was a platform. The initial breach was the setup. ForceMemo is the exploitation phase, and whatever comes next will use the same stolen credentials and the same blockchain infrastructure. The attackers built an asset portfolio, and they are compounding it. So here is the thread that connects all three of these stories. Trust infrastructure is under attack from every direction simultaneously. Nation-states are threatening to physically destroy the data centers that run your cloud. The biggest hardware company in AI is repositioning itself from ally to competitor. And the open-source supply chain, the foundation that every modern software stack depends on, is being systematically poisoned by attackers who built their command structure on a blockchain you cannot shut down. The signal today is about resilience, not the buzzword, the engineering discipline. Can your infrastructure survive a regional outage? Can your AI strategy survive your GPU vendor becoming your competitor? Can your code base survive a supply chain attack that is invisible to your existing tools? If the answer to any of those is no, today is the day to fix it. Not because the IRGC will follow through, maybe they will not, but because the threat model just expanded permanently. The world where your biggest risks were downtime and data breaches, that world is over. Physical destruction, strategic defections, and invisible code poisoning are all in the threat model now. Dutch says the signal is always in what people are ignoring. Today, most people are ignoring the fact that all three of these things happened in the same news cycle. That is not a coincidence. That is convergence. And convergence is where the real risk lives.